those will get through, and Alchemist.
I don't care about the 4 positions, honestly.
You're
I know
not worried
they've been
about
really impactful
yeah,
for this tournament,
but challenge, isn't it?
I feel like the strategies are more based around these cores, right?
Okay.
We're going to see these 4 positions probably trade hands quite a bit, but I personally would love to see IG just try out the Nagasar and Alchemist ban and just go from there.
You don't think Baboka's had such a good tournament because he has literally been terrific with Monkey King and brilliant with Earth Spirit, and then perhaps you force him to take something else?
I mean, it's definitely been really effective for him, and but I think I agree with Cap. The group stage, those heroes were definitely the big trendsetters, with the exception of maybe Lina and Lifestealer. But I think right now the more important thing is the core heroes counterpicking each other. The supports will be there. The teams seem to have figured out, like, if they get Monkey King, we're going to get Earth Spirit, and it's going to feel about equivalent.
All right, so we got a Monkey King ban, most likely a Earth Spirit pick for Jerax, I believe. It's kind of like,
unless they want the Alchemist.
I don't think that's a first pick hero. We'll see though. I mean, it's definitely an OP hero, but
yeah, it's about to say
first
IG
pick
will
is
get
a little too early, and I feel like it's easily a pick that OG could get with their second pick.
In which case, OG can. How do they respond to? Because they know the Alchemist is coming. What kind of opener are you best with? Like, okay.
All right, with the predictions.
You get Lifestealer, right? Lifestealer.
Peter, do you want to go off of the floor now? You okay down there?
No, it's all good. I'm happy for you, and I'm glad this panel is informed.
I think IG are still okay with this. Like, if they get like a Lifestealer burning, they get Boboka and Earth Spirit. Oh, the mag.
Yeah.
Match
and the
up.
jump. So they do go for the cores. We talked about this from the lower bracket game against Newbie, which is exactly what they did there as well. Pick 2 cores straight away.
I think Magnus works very well for IG. I feel like it's definitely their play style. It enables burning quite a lot. He's generally been playing in power heroes. I would expect him to be playing Juggernaut as well, but they could even go for another melee core, such as the Lifestealer.
It also really helps their rotations in the early game if they can get some pickoffs and tower pushes with Jug. Wow.
Okay. Well, Cap, you made the point that it's all about the cores. It's all about the cores at the start. Very unusual to see this.
OG's bringing out the exciting Dodo in the grand finals for everyone.
So, a lot of physical damage here. Terrorblade can eat up Omni Slashes pretty well. That's a decent thing. His illusions are going to have some issues this game, though.
You can't give him. I don't think you want to give away like Warlock, for example, to IG.
Oh yeah, I mean Warlock works pretty well against Terrorblade, but not super great against the rat mentality. He's also good against Alchemist, I think.
Yeah, I personally like it both versus those 2 cores, but you're right. It's ratting that's a problem.
Could potentially be a ban. Yeah, so they're going to ban out some heroes that are good. Axe definitely good against Magnus in lane and good against Juggernaut throughout the entire game. One of Juggernaut's hard counters, I would possibly say.
He did a lot of work earlier today. Just a Berserker's Call Blade Mail, and he's going to kill himself most of the time.
Yeah.
The great thing about this Magnus is that even though there's an Alchemist on the enemy team, I don't think you're really going to feel too pressured. You know, it's not going to be like, oh God, we need to end the game soon, because like both Juggernaut and whatever other core they're getting is going to scale much better into late game than it normally does.
Yeah. So the big thing for IG, I think, is tempo heroes for the next 1 or 2. That way they can pressure Alk a lot and Terrorblade. Jug already is going to be able to do a decent job zoning him from lane with the threat of Blade Fury and a roam support. But so which will push Alk to the jungle most likely, which means that they just need to have like a 1-2 support duo maybe that can find him and guarantee kills. I think if IG can get like a stun hero and an invoker, it would be super good.
Banning out the Enigma.
Yeah, just in case, I guess.
Either like Earth Spirit and Invoker or something like that.
I think that would be good, yeah. It would really help control Terrorblade. They could pressure Alk with it. A lot of damage output potential.
I like the Ember Spirit ban from OG. I feel like that's a core, like a tri-core that they played previously in this tournament on IG, and they've done very well with it.
It's not too many. I mean, you could run Jug mid, right, against this Alchemist. Pick up a different safe laner, but there's not too many other mids that would take advantage of the Magnus and power. So, just kind of looking at safe laners that would do that.
Yeah, I think what you want to do on IG is pick a hero that's good against Terrorblade.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want your last core to be. Magnus is okay versus Terrorblade. Juggernaut's, he's all right. He's not he's kind of not good, to be honest.
I would totally agree, but I think Empower could definitely push him over the edge.
Yeah, it's close. It's all about if he gets Sunder off or not.
Yeah.
Jug being in a melee here, he's going to be in there, and if he kills Terrorblade and Omni Slash, then it's not a problem. But if he pops out of that Omni Slash and Terrorblade's still up, Sunder will be his nightmare.
As a Magnus, don't you kind of need a support to enable you a little bit for your laning phase?
Yeah, we've seen. I don't. You can easily jungle on Magnus nowadays.
Yeah,
you just kind of go in power, and even if you don't have Iron Talon, just like a Quelling Blade is oftentimes enough to get started. The Shrine really kind of helps you push you over the edge there.
Yeah.
An embarrassed Burning fan.
What about like Slardar here for IG?
Yeah, so I definitely think that they want to pick a 4 position that is an initiator. It's the same thing with Enigma. Magnus doesn't really want to have all the pressure to be the initiator in team fights.
Did an Earth Spirit in there. Jarex would quite like to get his hands on.
There's Tusk out there as well.
Yeah.
Tusk is quite good against Juggernaut. He's a saving hero, kind of, against Magnus, Warlock.
We saw VCJ prioritizing that for FY and Fenrir up against Juggernaut and Life Stealers.
I wonder if has S4 played an offlane Tusk?
Well, no.
Just out of curiosity.
I don't think that's...
Yeah, because that's most of the time we're going to see a 4.
I think that's a sure way to go down 0-1.
Jarex does get his Earth Spirit.
Sticking to the guns. This is the grand finals. You just pick the
I
heroes
guess they know what works,
that you
right?
know the best.
They have been picking some Clockwork on OG. I could see that maybe working here. I'd say it's good against Mag Warlock.
Yeah, definitely some sort of hard initiator for S4. Clockwork, Centaur.
And definitely Tempo as well. Like if they, I don't think they can even pick Centaur because they've got TB Alchemists who are going to AFK farm. They need something that can be active.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. Clock seems like a nice pick. Not super great against Storm Spirit.
I would slightly worry that Clockwork just doesn't output enough damage for you.
I would be super worried about the Clockwork. I feel like he's going to fall really flatly. They're going to initiate a fight, and OG's not really going to be there to follow up, especially in the early game.
I personally feel like Clockwork's really only viable when you have Invoker right now. It's just like I feel like you need something extra for that off lane. Otherwise, he just doesn't seem to accomplish enough.
So Puck maybe?
Puck. Is LC too greedy here?
LC is...
It's kind of greedy.
LC is a bit greedy. It's also really dangerous to kind of just jump in and initiate fights. Warlock is really good against LC. You just drop the Fatal Bonds on him, and generally there's a couple targets behind him, and then the Rock comes.
And good in lane as well. Like LC normally gets lane advantage from just strong laning, but Warlock offsets a lot of that.
Does he? I thought you just press the attack Shadow Word off.
You can just heal yourself. Keep right click.
Just go to the right click. Yeah.
And you basically can't pressure the carry either because then you just Shadow Ward him. I feel
what
like
are some other hard initiators? Could see Sand King.
Yeah, I like Sand King.
I like Sand King. It could work. Earth Spirit Sand King could definitely put a lot of pressure on the lane.
Darkseer? Is that potential at all?
Unless they were going to go Disruptor as like a support.
Oh yeah, it is a safe lane Jug, so that seems unlikely. They would have loved Axe or Enigma, I think.
It would combo really well with Alk and maybe Terrorblade early game. So it could work, but...
I think they still need an initiator, though.
Yeah, I think Sand King is more along the right lane.
Although we've seen OG in earlier games, I was like, oh, OG doesn't really have initiators, blah, blah, blah. But then they find a way to win the game. They just group up with these illusion-based heroes, and they just throw all their stuff at the towers, and the other team had to run through it.
All right, you gents pointed out before the game started, could see a puck.
There it is.
Game 1. Perfect time to do it as well.
Silence against Storm Spirit, Puck Ags against Jug is going to be super good. Can also find Magnus maybe and interrupt his initiation. There's a lot of good things about the Puck pick.
Really great at initiating on a Warlock.
Yeah, I feel like that's a hero you can definitely kill. Especially in lane 2. Like if Warlock gets out of position, Puck can easily punish that with mobility.
Yeah, Verse Spirit's there.
Yeah.
But that hero gets zoned out a lot harder than a Legion Commander would, for example.
Yeah, agreed on that.
Here's our Visage.
Ah, yes.
They
the
just
respect,
need it.
man. So, Fly's got to play a new hero. What else does he play? I feel like he's only played Visage this tournament. Nobody's banned it. They're just like, they don't believe in it.
Is Winter Wyvern ridiculous here?
I don't think so.
Tusk?
No.
CM.
You have to look at, Vengeful Spirit, Dazzle. It's
you want a saving hero
a defensive support for Terrorblade and Alchemist would be great.
Yeah.
Do you think IG will go for the CM unless it's banned?
CM, no, I don't think so.
Not for that.
Not a super great combo with Warlock. Probably, I don't know. It could be an interesting, let's see. Any kind of, they could go for the Sand King themselves. I wouldn't mind that at all. Oh, there's the ban. So close to calling that prediction. And then OG had to go and ruin it for me. And now I have nothing. I'm stumped.
there,
I got nothing.
Maybe they would have picked Sand King if Puck wasn't there? I'll give you that one. I'll count your Sankin.
I mean, you just want a 4-position initiator for IG that doesn't.
Yeah.
So they're not entirely relying on Storm Spirit to make all the jumps. I don't think there's any other heroes left in like Tusk.
There's got to be something. Yeah, we got to think of something here.
The Lion, maybe?
Ooh, wait, Slardar's still in the pool.
Shadow Demon.
Hello.
That hero's so bad against Storm Spirit.
Yeah,
OG
that
don't
guy's
think
just
so.
food. He's
Good against
food,
Juggernaut, though.
Really
Yeah,
good.
I
really
think
good
OG's
against
Really
just
good
like,
against Juggernaut.
I think they're just going to kind of throw themselves at the early on with a Terrorblade like they do. They move around. They take these towers super early. I think another timing is going to be that Radiance. I think they're actually going to play this really aggressive.
I like the SD personally. Yeah, it's iffy against Storm, but if you can get like a Glimmer Cape or something on a good timing, it's kind of hard sometimes. But
They should go Lion.
yeah, that was my guess too. Anti-illusion, disable setups for like Puck and everything else.
Instant
Do you not
burst.
like Slardar because of the Puck and the Earth Spirit?
They can still Slardar.
I like it just because it helps the Juggernaut be able to burst down like Alchemist.
Yeah, I
Get
don't mind
better, right?
Slardar at all. Oh, they know.
Here it comes. It's a Ricky. A 5th pick Ricky in the grand final.
Oh, that's hard for Puck.
Can follow the Alchemist in the jungle.
Yeah.
Wow. What a first draft we've got in this best of 5.
Yeah, this is great.
Perfectly set up, really, for an exciting
one.
first game. Purge, we'll start with you, prediction-wise. Which one do you prefer?
I like IG's lineup better. I think the Puck is the Smoke Cloud is what they need to counteract any kind of return fire or defensive measures that OG are going to do. So I think the Ricky will do what he needs.
Okay, IG for Purge. Cap.
I agree. I like the fact that IG have drafted themselves a lineup that doesn't feel too pressured by this Alchemist lineup. That said, OG, they're really good with using a Terrorblade early, so it's going to be tough for them in the first 30.
Oh, that
IG.
was your prediction?
Yeah, IG.
I'll take OG. They're just better, and Alchemist is insanely broken.
I like that. That's perfectly fine. Nice and blunt. Thank you very much, Peter. Cap and Purge. We'll hear from all 3 of our analysts, of course, after our first game. Time to send you over to our commentary team for the grand final. Who else would you have? It's Merlini and Toby One.
Man, what an environment for this grand final. You can probably hear in the background, this crowd is heavily towards the Chinese. They got an absolute glorious panel, so all of the history, all of the wonderful people from the Chinese scene, they're all here looking to cheer for IG. OG trying to actually change the beat with the draft, Merlini, and it seems IG had a little bit of a Ricky of their own.
Ricky was very surprising. I kind of expected a Lion pick as well, but they are first phasing the Alchemist now. And before it was like second phase ban, and it kind of moved up a little bit. Now it's just overall first pick.
Yep.
Where's his hat?
He doesn't have anything. He's bald, man.
What happened to that cosmetic?
Sriracha the Slack stole it for his cosplay competition.
And now it's on the floor of the arena somewhere.
somewhere in the salt of shame for not winning the cosplay competition. But let's focus on the game, man. Invictus Gaming, they got the Mag Juggernaut.
Oh,
You're willing to do
XXS
this.
Mag.
You're willing to do this. Like, we were hoping for this entire time. We were hoping for the XXS Mag. He is absolutely amazing on it. His speed, his mechanics is really damn good.
It's hard versus Puck. Puck is one of the best heroes versus Magnus, and they have Alchemist. As we saw in the last series, Alchemist with his illusions everywhere just makes it impossible for him to get a good blink skewer. But I think XXS is one of those players where you just cannot sleep on. I think he actually might be a better Magnus than S4.
That's a big challenge, man. I know I actually challenged Sebastian, who's the coach of OG, about like the quality of it. He said he saw it, but he's like, we still have the Son of Magnus. And as long as we have the Son of Magnus, we still have the best Magnus in the world.
That is true. It is S4 versus the Magnus. We shall see.
I'm looking forward to seeing the duel between them all. As Cap also mentioned, like the SD as well as the Terrorblade, we're almost going to rehash at least the early game pressure that can come out from the SD and the Luna, but you will have cleave from the Juggernaut. You will have ways for IG to deal with that pressure that Terrorblade does provide.
And they have Smoke Cloud. Smoke Cloud's really good against Terrorblade, actually, because his illusions, they don't have MKB, they don't have BKB, so they can't hit through the Smoke Cloud. And a Shadow Demon Disruption will not actually save him from a Smoke Cloud, because the Smoke Cloud just lasts a really long time. It's really good versus shorter stuns and Hex.
was Ricky. Ricky was just out of range of that tier 1 tower. He's coming from behind now. Fly, the smoke is already broken on him, so Boboka is able to scout this out. So playing a very similar role to what he's done with the Monkey King before. It's all about seeing where the supports are moving around and allowing IG to just prepare for him.
Yeah, that's kind of an aggro try going on for them. ES and SD, they do not have a smoke in between both of them, so it looks like it will be a 1v1 mid at the moment.
It seems like such an odd combination to roam around with, like the SD being the last pickup from OG. They obviously had a concept behind this, and you start with the smoke rotation without having someone like an Invoker to lend a Sunstrike, because you're not going to get help from either Ana or N0tail. They both will be permanently focused on farming, and maybe N0tail with a little bit of push to the tier 1.
Oh, he took a lot of tower hits and gave him both the last assists there.
Disruption bottom lane, rolling bolt, actually blocked by Burning, putting himself in the path of that Earth Spirit.
He has the 4-man shield, so he's actually not going to take a lot of damage, which is especially important versus small things like SD illusions and whatnot. So that was a big play by Burning, actually helping out his Warlock there. And looks like Q dropped the Sentry Ward on bottom and was unable to hit an Observer Ward because they haven't placed any down there.
Earth Spirit just TP'd up towards top lane as well. He originally came more than likely just to go for the quick pull, but thanks to the Observer Ward that Ricky placed previously, it's already blocked up. Boboka, he'll harass Ana, but Ana knows exactly what he's getting into. He's got the Sentry Ward down, so this Ricky Maru, well, okay, careful with the Courier that's walking right over the top of the Observer Ward. That's something to be a little bit more cautious about. But Ana sends it the other way.
Jirax rolling around, stealing runes. Boboka does pick up Arcane, probably the least useful rune.
Actually, with SD here, he can just potentially disrupt. I don't know if Ana actually has a saved point at the moment. No, he's gone for the 2-0-1. So there's no real follow-up. It's just Jirax to try and mess with the Ricky.
But Boboka's life is very difficult over here because Shadow Demon can easily set up on him, and Earth Spirit's roaming around with a lot of mobility, and he has the dust on him, so he can't roam around as freely as he would like. He hasn't actually been able to hit anyone aside from the Alchemist.
S4's got to be careful. He needs to join himself out on this one, which he will do so. Boboka's just going to harass S4 a little bit further out.
He needs some levels on the Riki. You want at least level 2, but currently he's just sitting at, like, what, 5% experience?
almost nothing. He's meant to be the king of finding those bounty runes and the perfect rotation timing, but he hasn't had the freedom to do so. As you said, thanks to the ES, thanks to the SD. Well, they're still trying to push S4 back out of the tower range. But are you happy with this OG at the very start? We haven't seen their pressure coming out. Ana is not too heavily behind in the farm. Obviously, OP is going to have the advantage in the early stages. But you haven't lost your offlane puck. He's managed to pick up 3.5 levels as well. Maybe with the rotation to mid, Jirax looking towards OP, but again, there's no bite to this OG lineup in the rotations.
They can just push with meta. That's about the best thing that they can do for themselves in the early game. So it looks like Boboka trying to steal a bounty rune. Need to keep this Alk down as much as possible.
He should get it unless Jirax is going to rolling boulder forward.
Yeah, Jirax is going to know though. He has the dust on him, and I don't think there's anyone close by though.
No. And in fact, it's actually the Dire Courier flying right over the top. Maybe be a little bit more cautious about that. Fly is leeching the experience of XXS. And Fly potentially, even with Disruption, he can't really stop him. But he can harass him out at least. Okay, with Disruption and Catcher, you should have Skewer up and just straight TP. Actually, no Skewer. He went for a 2-2-0 build over on the Magnus, saving no points. All about the farm.
It is better for jungling. That's true. He does sometimes unusual builds. The Magnus, as you mentioned, no Skewer. Usually you pick up very early on a lane to potentially threaten for a kill, but it does not help you in farming unless you're just traveling in between camps.
That first push is coming on the top lane. So Metamorphosis has been triggered up by N0tail. That's why the fortification having to be triggered by IG. You will have that counter push arriving in from the Magnus. N0tail doesn't really have a big creep wave with him, but if you can keep that catapult alive,
Boboka.
It's already too far out. And yeah, he's found Ana just farming up inside the jungle. Support is there, however, so Fly, TP support's coming in. But Boboka's going to have really good vision thanks to the Observer Ward. It's not on the high ground. Actually, they're both, he does have one up on the high ground, watching both the shrine as well as trying to block up the camp.
Ana got a little bit more gold from that because it was a troll camp. Troll camp, definitely the best large camp for him, and Fly nails that Observer Ward.
But he won't find the second one. unless this is just the prediction play of Fly.
I wonder if they're actually going to see
it's timing
a
it
timeout.
anyway.
Yeah, they won't see a timeout though. That's kind of important for them. And he also plays another Observer Ward to the right of this to block out that camp.
I'm surprised Bobaka actually comes in close on this. Like he jumped on top of Ana after the Observer Ward was already dewarded. So he should be aware that, well, at least maybe he's just flagging himself too.
No-Tail taking a fair amount of harass, but with the raindrops, he's not easily taken down unless Storm gets a good rune. Invis, probably not the best kill rune for him.
He's looking towards top lane.
Yeah.
And No-Tail...
No Sunder.
Yeah. He's gone for straight push. It's 0-3-3.
Yeah, they saw him with the Observer Ward burning, stealing some camps.
Is he actually going to get enough of the last hits? He gets some of them. Still leaves the Alpha Wolf for Fly to farm.
Just trying to limit the Alk's economy right now, but they don't have a good way into the jungle at the moment because that Observer Ward was dewarded. They did see OP pick up the regeneration, or sorry, the Invis rune, and that's decent camps to take control of.
Gets something for his rotation. Doesn't find the kill, but at least gets the farm. S4 is being pushed down the bottom lane. Shadow Word against a poor little Puck, even though S4 is running the bottle now. So regeneration's a little bit better, but it's still a Warlock.
Ana gets another stack off while he's there close to the bounty rune. So just playing the economic in the moment. His net worth is not out of control yet, but this is long before he has his key items.
Yep. Once we see the armor, he'll be a lot more confident standing in lane. Having Chemical Rage too, so sustain's a hell of a lot better for him. And what do you actually do if you're OP? Like, do you build in for the early Orchid? Do you look for the jump initiation onto a specific hero?
Early Orchid is just so risky. Not having Bloodstone is just not really a thing anymore. I think you need the Bloodstone to be able to farm up and keep snowballing. If you go Orchid and you like die once, you're just useless for the rest of the game.
But what's the danger though? Like, if OG decide to push, and they will decide to push with a Metamorphosis and SD, you're going to be on the defense. How do you stop that if you're IG?
Try and control the jungle, stop the stacking, get good vision, and just block some camps as often as you can. They actually have pretty good heroes to steal the stacks. So Riki for the vision, Magnus can easily take him out himself with the Empower, and then Storm Spear is also very good at taking out stacks. But they need to be able to find them and ideally fight away from the Puck. Puck is hitting level 6. He just hit level 6 off this range creep in the bottom lane and could set up some potential kills around the map.
They're actually TPing out the bottom. So No-Tail triggered his Metamorphosis, pushed in the top lane a little bit, and now is TP down to the bot lane to try and synergize here with Fly. So just trying to get IG to look two different ways, and they've succeeded because the Magnus is now up on the top lane. It's just down to the Warlock, who isn't level 6 yet, to defend the bottom. You can see just how much damage No-Tail is able to do. That was 3, maybe 4 hits, including some of the illusion hits. Okay, Dream Call, Bobaka. He managed to actually jump himself down into the troll camp. Jirax is on the run now. Remember, he does have that dust revealing him, but that dust will wear off. So problematic for him, and that push on bottom lane as well from OG. Minimal damage, and the Warlock is holding the line.
Oh, that's actually pretty incredible that he had the vision for the creep camp. He actually used that Storm Spirit illusion to get vision to that camp. This Observer Ward on the right side doesn't actually provide vision in the camp. I was like, how did he do that? It's because normally you have to cut down those trees to actually see which camp it is. But from the top left side,
Ana's going to get sick of this very, very soon. The Sentry Ward is now timed out. Rolling Boulder forward, another dust, so you see Bobaka running to the right, but he is just being a thorn in their side. Leeching experience, the kick flies forward, Bobaka able to dodge it. Is there any level of stun? Ana, they actually jump up to Ana, using that strike, and now he's invis again.
it's a lot of time wasted. Riki has not really hit creeps at all this game. He has 6 CS, some of them stolen, but he's level 4. That's pretty good, all things considered. And slowing down the Alchemist, level 2 Chemical Rage is a pretty big difference, and it might make it much, much easier to kill Ana as a result.
And he'll take the 10-minute bounty rune just to add the icing to the cake. Fly should definitely pick up this Arcane rune before Riki steals it.
They might get on 2 metas, though? Oh,
no, they don't. Volvica is the biggest pain in the ass for OG at the moment, and he's the hero for this Chinese crowd.
It's a big rune to pick up, too. DD and Arcane are probably the best for him at this point in time. His meta is off cooldown right now, yeah, so he'd just be able to crush this T1 on bottom and then push just a couple of seconds later. Burning
very smart TP out. He went actually went back to the tier 3 tower on the bot lane.
Well, they're just trying there.
So this should still be able to be a push.
Yes,
and
easily.
in fact, yeah, they
done.
both TP'd out. They're happy to accept the fact that OG will now claim their first tier 1 tower. But it took 10 minutes for OG to do that with the Terrorblade SD.
I wonder what build the Juggernaut's going to go. Normally, Juggernaut's very poor matchup versus Terrorblade. You don't have inherent cleave. I guess with Magnus you do, but and you own yourself with the reflection because you're in a crit. But they're trying to smoke around right now. This is going to be a very difficult maneuver because Shadow Demon's sitting behind No Tail, but it is just the Shadow Demon. XXS just barely have enough mana for an skewer into RP.
Yeah, those illusions don't last long at all when the Shockwave's able to connect. No Tail is not a healthy man. He doesn't have mana for a Sunder, so Storm jumps in, trying to go for Fly. Now they turn their attention towards No Tail. Fly, there's no saving grace for him. OP will take the first blood. As IG come in fourth to the bottom lane, Rock is up for Q, so IG may actually be the ones to take the first tower here.
Wow, that was huge. They stopped the push, and they got the kill, and they wasted meta and wasted Sunder. I mean, Sunder's not that big a deal of a cooldown, but meta certainly is.
And now Alchemist is forced to come into the fight. His Chemical Rage has already been triggered. Puck will start his TP, but Armlet is up. So the Alchemist is not easy to kill.
They don't have any damage, though, if Terrorblade's not there and if the Radiance isn't up. So even had he coiled 3 people right there, it wouldn't have yielded a kill.
Everyone's bailing out from OG. They realize this push is not fully coming or committed by IG. So OG just sends No Tail to the top lane and Alchemist back into the jungle.
In terms of net worth, IG actually ahead by just 500. That's pretty good considering you're up against an Alchemist team. I think a lot of this has to do with Baboka, wasted sentries, wasted dust, bounty rune stolen, and the economic damage is small, but certainly not insignificant.
Pocket Ricky works for him. Silence, quick, and Skewer S4, able to dodge it with a phase shift. Remember, he knows how the Magnus works, and, well, he ain't no mug with the puck either. This illusionary orb flying in. Finally, they will remove the Thorn from their side. The Sentry Ward to give the reveal, and the Ricky is brought down.
Ana at critical HP, but with no Riki over there to scout him out, he feels completely safe, and he seems relatively unhindered in his quest towards Radiance. It's not going to be the 12-minute coveted Armlet Radiance time in, but it's still going to be very, very good. 15, 16 minutes perhaps.
Burning's pressuring the top. With that Empower buff up on him, No Tail knows it's very difficult just to hold the lane, and now the Empower will wear off. So Burning is just direct damage, but then you see again this maneuver. Wherever Burning goes, No Tail, he just disappears. He goes to the opposite side of the map, as far away from Burning as possible.
Sooner or later, Burning's going to be able to just actually walk up to these illusions and start hitting them, though. Right now, he's not that strong, and Empower is not max. Oh, actually, he went 4-4-1 on the mag for max Empower. That's actually a little surprising. I don't see that too often. But anyways, 1 tower down, finally, for OG.
But Mag moves up towards top lane. He needs to give the buff up to Burning so they can just pressure down the tower.
Blink on S4, immediate smoke up, Fly, JRX, and S4, making their way from bottom towards, ideally, a Storm kill would be the best for them. I'm trying to think of anyone else that would be better.
Himself in mid. So if they do want it, yeah, you can see him just making a beeline for the mid. So Burning will be able to take out that top tier 1 tower while OG position themselves for this gank.
They're peeking out. Are they going to scan?
They're waiting for someone to come in close, but it's going to be Baboka again. He'll break the smoke, instantly dust up, and he will go down. So at least you get something, but it's not what OG wanted.
Yeah, smoke and a blink reveal just for a Riki kill. And Riki already has phase boost, so he's not poor by any means, surprisingly. That's actually number 7 on net worth out of 10.
He's got a lot to work with. And does OG just try this again? Like, how many more smokes have they really got up their sleeve?
The thing is they can blow through it a lot, though, because they don't actually need the Alchemist. They're not that worried right now because they don't have to protect the Alchemist anymore. He's very close to his Radiance.
Fly. XXS, a very uncharacteristic miss for the Blink Skewer, and S4 wants to initiate a quick silence, a jump out, phase shift. As the Magnus was playing with the RP, but S4 is also playing with them.
Puck is one of the best heroes at killing the Healing Ward, and the Healing Ward is very lucrative. 75 XP in gold, and he can kill it with just wasting Blink and an Orb, which is completely worth it. That thing is such a nuisance to kill in team fights.
That's interesting rolling boulder from JRX. He was getting away Now the jump burning, not really too quick to get himself out of this. Just the spin being committed again, another blink skewer. That had to barely be off the tail of S4.
S4 missed that coil too. He almost caught XSS in that coil. He didn't want to turn and cast a coil behind him. He wanted to cast it in front of him, and because of that, he narrowly missed.
They fortify up. You're still not ready to fight with OG. You're just short of it. There's not even 100 gold to get that Radiance up and running. The tower denied up. No tail. Able to get that one, but S4 comes a full Omni Slash from the Juggernaut.
Still get a tower deny, and OP committed most of his mana to try and go on fly. Fly only got down to half HP during that. And that is the Radiance for Alchemist.
That it is. So fighting becomes a lot better now for OG, even though it's not the unstoppable Alchemist.
Yep, and Blinks come a lot harder for XXS. He's having a lot of trouble hitting those Blink skewers right now.
Oh, this vision is just so damn good. Hello, Fly, welcome to the lane, and Fly, welcome to death. The Observer Ward was there. They just saw him come in and waited with the trap. S4, however, looking for some revenge. He hasn't managed to bring down the Riki just yet. It's OP who's the primary target. Concoction, it cannot be disjointed. That's why Jerick can just roll forward, look for another silence. So Kicker, what's he got? He turns on the Magnetize instead. OP, one more jump available. He gets back to where the Tier 1 tower used to be, but now in comes S4. Over from the side. Q, it's a time for the rock. He's got the golem available. And now OG, they have to switch targets once again. Q just wants to TP out this one. He's not going to drop the rock, and instead it's moving towards XXS. The stun, the silence, where is that stun? It's going to miss. He only hits the silence, and Anna, no mana. So incapable of throwing out another concoction.
Wow, that was a huge play by Q there. He got the Fatal Bonds on the Puck before he TP'd out and died. And because of the Fatal Bonds, he disabled the Puck Blink, and he tried to Waning Rift him before the Puck was able, or before the Magnus was able to get out. That was really clutch. If he didn't have the Fatal Bonds, that would have been like, what, 3 deaths, I would say?
Stopping any maneuverability of S4. Yeah, that's going to end in death. Fly. He'll get a quick disruption off, but it doesn't stop the inevitable. OP will take the kill, and he'll take the bounty rune.
And the Bloodstone charge. 14 and counting for Old Storm.
And we start the ticker. I think OG have also cottoned on to where that, they have, where that Observer Ward is. So they'll get rid of that nice and quickly, but we do look at the 2 big power players, so obviously Anna on that Alchemist for OG. It's all about him still progressing in farm. That hasn't really been stopped too heavily by Invictus Gaming. They've tried, and as far as the other Alchemists we've seen during the main playoffs, this Alchemist actually looks under-farmed in comparison.
It certainly does, and their saves are rather underwhelming for him. You have Defensive Disruption, which is not the greatest range, and SC isn't going to have any items. Like, even if you pull Axe to him, let's say, it's not going to be 1,000 range like the Time Weaver or the Time Lapse from the Weaver, and then you have the Sunder from the Terrorblade, which is not ideal because then Terrorblade is really, really low. So like both your saves are just not particularly good if Alchemist gets RP'd. It will be nothing like the Time Lapse and the swap game that we saw before.
Looks like IG is grouping up in the mid, so it will be a smoke maneuver from them. That Blink RP is still just itching to be used. The question is, do they find a target? The Observer Ward is still watching the farming around the Ancients, but S4 has the Invis rune. He was looking for an original kill, and now Phase Shift, Orb, and Blink away. Destroys the gank that was coming in from IG, but OP wants to keep going. Fly, hack, turn around, Hellbat, S4. Defensive Disruption will be there, and as Puck will come back in, burning, spinning. S4, he can't blink away, but he can Orb up at the shockwave. Magnus reads it perfectly. The Observer Ward gave them absolute clarity for vision-wise, and Invictus Gaming again claim yet another kill.
Missed a couple skewers, but hit a really important shockwave, I would say. That was a smoke gank that could have ended disastrously for them, and Puck didn't actually have to Illusory Orb out. Like, they don't have any Invis heroes, so you're very unlikely to actually carry Dust around when you're ganking. Maybe he was expecting like one of the supports having a Sentry or a Dust perhaps, but he jumped the gun a little bit, but better safe than sorry is generally the motto. Although at that time he was safe and sorry.
Tirax is certain. He knows the Riki is down there. He threw a Sentry Ward in the tree line and wasn't able to find him, but Alchemist will TP up. They have 1 last second left on the Sentry, and they got small amounts of vision on the Riki headed north. So, well, Bobica takes the bounty rune and now wants to initiate another Sentry Waters down, so he goes into Tricks of the Trade, but Concoction, Anna never got it off in time. He actually ends up stunning himself, and Bobica still on the run. Are we really coming back to this? The Dust isn't even, it is in range. It clipped him on the edge, but because his Knight OP.
Boboka, I think he's been playing the best of any support in this entire tournament. It's just ridiculous what he's doing with Riki. Support seen by many is kind of unplayable in this particular patch.
Oh, Jirax again, OP, the long jump, not a lot of mana left, so Jirax rolling boulder, goes for his TP, very difficult to lock down, and OP will not get the extra Bloodstone charge. But you see that bonus damage and power is up. He was actually hitting pretty hard.
Now you have to consider Roshan. Roshan's going to be a hot point of contest. OG definitely want to take that, get their Terrorblade or their Alchemist and start maybe taking down some towers with this very farmed Alchemist. And on the flip side, Storm Spirit, one of the best heroes with Aegis. You definitely want it on him if you can actually get it. And IG, they are pressuring very, very hard.
You see the scan coming in from Invictus Gaming. They're worried they're being flanked from behind. Now there's a dire Observer Ward on top of the shrine. The Radiant Observer Wards don't actually see it. And the scan actually ends just before OG reached the point. So Jirax runs in, smoke will break. Who's he go for a kick on? Q ran into the tree line. That may have been one of the objectives, but
they might walk into RP if they go too far. It was almost about to be a disaster if like S4 coiled them and then they went in. A lot of that is on the puck. It's such a difficult puck game because he has to control the Magnus and make sure his team doesn't get destroyed by RP. That's his main job this game. Maybe a little bit of controlling the storm, but just control the fight so that you don't get destroyed. We haven't seen any RPs from XSS this game, and it's a game of chicken from them too.
They're coming again. Remember that Observer was not really seeing that much for Invictus Gaming. It's the vision. Okay, a dust from Jirax. He's hoping to find the Riki scouting out. Knows that he's not, so maybe there's your jump in. Nope. Okay, they go on an illusion. Invictus Gaming, the puck, he jumped into the middle of the first screen. The four-star battle, the rock will fall. S4 able to get both of his combo off, so maybe the control will still be there with a kick flying in from Jirax. OP and burning. The guy's everything off, and no tower will fall. You can turn on the magnetize. Heavy damage from both sides. A quick denial from OP. So OG wouldn't even get the kill for that one. They've lost 3. The Stormwatch is already back to the world of the living. No one else going to follow through on this one. Not from OG, because they really just don't exist anymore.
Oh no, that was a disaster coming out from the puck. As you mentioned, just blinking right into that silence. And he was probably pretty pleased with himself that he managed to bait out so many spells, but after that, blunders were made.
It looked like it was
It looked like it was going to be really good, though.
Yeah.
He was trying to set up for them, and then we saw 2-man RP.
Anna. Burning's already doing the spin. Anna has to stun himself. There's no other choice. Or possibly Manta Dodge. That would have been another way.
Storm Spirit did lose a fair amount of Bloodstone charges in that fight, too, so they are at least keeping Storm a little bit down. 11 and counting for him.
Yeah, had to deny himself up. Let's have a quick look at that fight again. So there's the initiation. They go on the fake puck, and then S4 still puts himself in harm's way. But he at least is able to get off the Dream Call, silence, plus the orb. So that was the small advantage for him. But the rest of OG was locked down. That Golem just kept them out of play.
And the Bloodstone deny afterwards and the Healing Ward managed to top them off, so they were able to claim that T2. And now OG, there's no big ultimates yet. 70 seconds left on the Rock, 25 seconds left on the Magnus ultimate.
And Fly is just causing issues on the side. Looking at OP, S4's going to silence him too. And that will be a decent amount of damage. If OP takes the damage from the Dream Call, he won't do it, however. Just more lightning away, trigger Shrine. Be ready to fight again before No-Tail's able to finish up this Tier 2 tower.
RP's up in 8 seconds.
Let's see Magnus S4 being initiated on a quick turn away. He won't be able to survive this one, or will he? They attack the 4-star forward, but there's no extra phase shift. S4 down for 44 seconds. Now Anna, he's going to stun himself again. He couldn't find a target. Burning was spinning in front, saying, what's he going to do, bro? You can't do anything apart from die. To Invictus Gaming as they go for more. XXS on the front lines. He's able to pick up an extra one. Now it's No-Tail versus the world, and the world is against him. 4 heroes down for OG, overstaying their welcome, and now Roshan will go the way of IG2.
This is exactly how you use a Magnus lineup. You have someone else run in and just make life miserable for the opposite team. OP just runs in, everyone goes on puck. I saw the Terrorblade think about sundering the puck. He's like, should I do it? He's like, nah, my life's more important, and it definitely is. And then as the retreating Mag gets to +2, not even just a +1 at the end with the RP, while everyone's distracted by the Storm Spirit and the Alchemist.
life has got exponentially harder for OG with the loss of that fight. And not just because they're falling further and further behind with only the Alchemist holding the #1 net worth. The Ricky Mario was able to finish up a Diffusal Blade, and you've got an Orchid over on the Storm Spirit. More control, more disable is flooding into Invictus Gaming, and OG currently have no answer to it.
They really don't. Even pulling Ags isn't going to help them that much. Like, the Earth Spirit Ags is probably one of the best saves they have, but the range on that is just awful. Puck Ags is okay, but there's not really that many. Like, Juggernaut can just stand in the coil. Storm can just zip out of it. It's not that big of a deal. There's no BKBs yet on the Radiant side. Other ones that we see, Shadow Demon Ultimate, you know, he's not really able to cast, free cast in team fights, and then Terrorblade doesn't have one.
This just feels like the Rats have to come out now. The SD has to start doing work with the Alchemist. He needs to finish up the Octarine core as well, so you have something to at least push the waves back out against. You even reach the point where we can start properly talking about, I wonder who Anna will give an Aghanim Scepter to.
It's tough to push out lanes. I think that SD has been finely tuned to the point where I would consider him very balanced, and his illusions are somewhat difficult to take out, but now that you get 22 gold per and a decent amount of XP, and they take 300% instead of 200% damage, I think like the risk is worth the reward. Finally.
That initiation is up for burning. Blink Dagger for him too. And these Observer Wards have been sitting down for IG for so long. That one between the Tier 2, Tier 3 tower and mid, the one that was at the remnants of the Tier 2 tower on bottom lane, whenever OG come out, Invictus Gaming have seen it. They've been able to understand exactly what they're getting into.
And on top of that, they have Midases. 2 Midases on the Radiant side. 1 on Warlock, 1 on Magnus. So you're trying to play the economic game as the Alchemist, but you're very far behind in net worth, and IG certainly have the farming tools. Not only do they have Midases, they have the big, old, and power. Yep. That is like 3 Midases on your team.
Fresh warding down again.
They're really good about cutting those trees around that. That ward is very poor if you don't cut down those trees. But when you have Storm and or heroes with Quellings and whatnot, Magnus perhaps also pretty good, 4 staffs. There's plenty of ways to cut down the trees, but it is not useful unless all the trees are down.
And you can see Anna now having to start taking risks. TP out to the Shrine Farm, the agents if possible. I don't know if he starts pushing only illusions across the river, because it feels like the only safe place for OG to farm right now is the Radiant Jungle. That's as far away from the IG lineup as you're probably going to get as IG
nowhere is safe, Toby.
They turn their attention to the Tier 2 tower up on top, so you should have at least a little bit more breathing room. But damn, these Observer Wards, they see everything.
Boboka can actually solo kill people right now. He has a lot of agility with the Diffusal, and with Empower, he's almost hitting for 200. And then add that with his backstab damage, and then being able to silence people, he could potentially like kill the SD very easily in the fights, and maybe the Puck if he's not careful with his Yules.
I love the small efficiency from Notel, using his illusion to drag the creep wave down to the Alchemist who TP'd down. So he was able to farm up an entire creep wave, plus taking the Ancients without losing too much time. And they have pressure to the bottom lane, but there's nothing OG can do here. They don't have fantastic initiations. You said the Earth Spirits, we're not really feeling the joy from him yet, and the Blink Dagger was what Jirax was looking at next. But there's no quick jump in disable that you're going to get from the Earth Spirit that's going to be enough. The SD, IG are almost able to play around it when he goes in for a disruption, so that's not your setup either. So more pressure applied towards the Puck, who's scared to death of the double silences from both Cloud as well as from the Orchid.
I agree. He also took the Intel talent over the health, so he is very, very squishy. Burning versus No-Tail, net worth. No-Tail not going to be able to be helped out too much by the Alk this game in that department. Moonshard is not particularly good on Terrorblade either. Because your illusions don't benefit from it, and that's a significant part of your damage.
So instead it's everyone else who can potentially benefit from it. The multiple purges, the Earth Spirit with the potential save, and then of course the Dream Coil from Puck, which was the bigger one, which we were flagging at the start of this game.
Yeah, it's definitely on S4 in these team fights. He has to be able to control multiple people in the fight, hit multiple man coils, get pulled in Ags, and just all in all just own the team fight for OG. But it's very hard. Ana actually has to be really good at splitting his illusions too, to get the Radiance burn on everybody. The miss chance is very important versus hard-hitting, empowered heroes.
Well,
and
so
disabling
far the
blinks.
Illusions have been doing it. Like, that bottom tier 2 tower is still taking damage from the creep wave, and no one from Invictus Gaming is coming here to really stop it. So it's small things to think about. OG know that IG are on the hunt. You managed to get an Illusion almost to the tier 2 tower on the top lane, plus the creep wave is getting there. So OG, even though IG have a lot of answers to the push, they're still finding the space to do it. And this is all about just the money. So once the Shiva's Guard is done, Ana looks elsewhere. But okay, there's a lot of TPs coming in. Bobica, well, he'll see Notel coming down. Might think it's an illusion, but they jump up. There's your smoke screen and the double silence. Alchemist can't do anything. Locked in the tricks of the trade with Diffuser Blaze starts the TP out. Omni sides the damage, and he'll get out, but S4 sacrifices himself for the Alchemist to survive.
Wow, that was such a big play by S4 right there. Oh my god, getting that Blink Waning Rip to stop the RP. He almost got RP'd himself. Instant cast is king.
Sacrifice yourself for the greater good. We'll see it again with that jump in initiation, but S4 launches it, and here comes XXS. Jump forward, Burning's there as well, and S4, the timing.
That timing was so clutch. That observer ward to the left, just missed by that sentry ward too. That made it so easy for them to catch out the SD and silence him immediately. I like how he like feigned going on the Alchemist and oh yeah, there's the SD right here. Let's just kill him. Feed those Bloodstone charges. He's back up to 17. Fresh BKB. Made very good use of it. And now Roshan's going to respawn very, very soon. Do OG just have to concede this one without even thinking about contesting it? I don't know. I don't think you can really send in illusions to check it out because Jug kills him in 2 or 3 hits.
Well, they can't fight. Like, there's no way to do it.
They can't fight.
Like, at the moment, you can't even kill a Ricky. Ricky just picked up a Blink Dag. He's just going to go tricks and then jump away. Even the Warlock is going to have fantastic positioning. Like, Warlock was so confident. He's like, you know, screw the cast range. I need to be further away. I went more Shadow Word than anything else.
I think SD is going to be a very big liability, though. He doesn't have any items, like no Blink, no Glimmer, nothing even in his quick buy. He knows he's not going to get any items.
He's bait. Like, he almost is. Like, he'll get farm if he can send, like, Ana's illusions.
Is he even bait? It's not good if he dies.
Oh, Ana's going to stun himself again. Like, maybe with the Manta dodge is the way, yep. And, well, Storm Spirit jumps in. Well, you got no Manta. You can't break free of the Orchid, but he does have the Chemical Rage. And OP, I think he understands just how powerful that Alchemist still is. Even when you're behind, you must give respect to the Alch.
They were trying to bait out the Magnus, or they were trying to bait out the heroes behind so the Magnus could jump in. It was a straight 1v1. It's like, what? I'm not losing this 1v1. We don't need to help him out. Soon, maybe.
It's actually a Blink Abyssal Blade now on the Juggernaut. He's got all the control. Bobica should be careful about sentry wards, but you should also towards the top lane. There's a big creep wave pushing in there. Notel, the smoke is going to break. Bobica is still not in range. The dust will trigger, but he already blinked away to safety.
Dude, he is always one step ahead. It's insane how good he is at just being an obnoxious support.
He is the real cancer.
Oh, man.
I thought I managed to cut this out, but I found another part of it over in my leg. Now here we go again. Hey, Notel. And Notel now lives in just the fetal position in the corner of fear. Never know where Invictus Gaming will be.
So favoring OG will be the Roshan respawn. 10 minutes, 45 seconds. Very, very long respawn time. So I'll buy on a few more minutes to farm. Bobico, a few more minutes to annoy them and be like, oh man, this goddamn Riki, he's always there. Like, that's why they're so poor. They have to spend so much money on Fly's placing sentry wards as I speak.
So Fly is under 1,000. Like, he just hit 1K net worth.
Poor guy.
This is the saddest Shadow Demon. Like, this is a guy who's been playing Visage most of the tournament, walking around with Solar Christ, getting Aghanim Scepters, just having a glorious time. And now he's in a world of poverty.
Yeah, they might have to, Alchemist might have to buy Central Wards way earlier than normal. I think, like, after the first Ags, you buy, like, 1,000 gold worth of support items just so Fly has something at the end of the game. Like, even, I don't know, I actually don't know anything less than 2,000 gold that's going to save him. Ghost Scepter, I suppose, but that's terrible versus Riki. Glimmer Cape, it's so-so, but they could just easily pick up a gem.
Who's he giving it to? Like, Fly's in the neighborhood, but it's not going to be Fly.
I would say
it's Puck. S4's blinking back down again, and yeah, S4 will get the Aghanim Scepter upgrade.
It's
the dream call you need.
Amazing this game though, because Storm Spirit can BK or can just zip out of it. and then the Juggernaut can just Omni Slash during it, or just
But you need
right
the
click.
team fight control, at least the buffer from the team fight
You
control.
could consider it on the Earth Spirit, perhaps.
But unless, does Jurix have his Blink Dagger yet? Because that would be the critical thing. Yeah, he
Yeah,
does,
yeah,
so it would be good.
It's definitely in between those two. Like SD just dies in the fight. Like without any items, he just can't cast one Demonic Purge, let alone 3. So yeah, I think it's a really tough call in between Puck and Earth Spirit. But Puck is the main controller in the team fight. If you do get it on the Magnus, that would be ideal.
Oh, Bobika's nearby. It's almost worth putting like a casual gem onto that Alchemist, so when he sends his illusions out, you actually see where the Ricky is.
So they don't actually know that the Puck Dream Coil, I believe, is going to be upgraded. I don't believe they have Vision, or if they do, they probably didn't have enough time to click on him.
And Anna's so close here. So
They're right on top of the shrine, though.
Oh, Bobika jumps up into dust, silence, and goodbye. Ricky is down for a good minute, so they go into the Dream Coil. Burning tries to get out of this one. The stun will trigger even through that immunity. That's the bonus of that upgrade. And Burning on the run. Anna, it's now the time when you can actually stun something. He preps it up. The Sun's a little bit out of range there for S4. 2 seconds, half a second. The rock will drop, and Anna will actually stun himself again. Fly will have to save him with a disruption. OP triggers the BKB, goes inside the base with No-Tell already triggering off Metamorphosis. They want to do damage. No Ricky for 30 seconds. And normally that wouldn't be that big of a thing, but in this game, it's huge. OG is the first big opening they've got to do damage inside the base, but be careful of the RP. You're ending up in XXS's world now, especially when Alchemist orchid up, silenced up. There goes your first man to push back out for the RP. It'll catch 2, drag him in. It's S4 plus No-Tell. The phase shift will end up saving 1, but no, S4 will die as he comes back out. No-Tell, where's your extra health? Just keep spamming more illusions. But they've done the damage. They've taken the tier 3 towers out at least. They just have to get out in their current state.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all for OG. They were so quick at killing the Ricky, though, that fight before. That was so important for them being able to eliminate him, and that silence is just such a big nuisance. It's also really good at defending high ground. You can just smoke screen the illusions. But yeah, Roshan is up. No-Tail does not have Metamorphosis. Puck is still down for 15 more seconds.
But there's no RP at least to fight against. There's no Omni Slash. There's no Rock. These things will allow OG to have confidence.
And combining the Radiance with the Shiva just makes it even more difficult for the Magnus. And he's actually not going for the BKB. He's being very bold and just going straight into the Refresher.
There's a lot of confidence. But he's also going to be a little bit more concerned now that tier 3 tower dropped in the mid. OG showed just how quickly they can do the push.
Can't mess up fights.
Yep, pretty much.
The gem has been picked up by the Storm Spirit.
Okay, you got a second Aghanim scepter coming in from Anna too. So he's now got the money for it. We'll pick it up as the courier.
You might actually give it to SD now that you want a big fight.
He just sent the courier back. I don't know if that was really intentional. The courier's going back to the Dire base at the moment. Okay, he already transferred the 3 1K items to himself. That's why. So who does he look towards?
I say maybe the SD.
It's Jirax. It's Earth Spirit.
Well,
gave us
make people boulders.
I suppose when you've also got someone who is as talented as Jirax on Earth Spirit, you could also understand it.
And he can do more with it because he has a blink.
Mm-hmm.
Can potentially save someone from RP and the SD disruption, so you kind of have 2 RPs covered. Trying to de-ward with the gem that they picked up. Roshan is up.
Anna.
The big fight's brewing.
Baits the spin at least, so Burning doesn't have that saving grace and allows Anna just to walk in to the mid lane. Storm Spirit, there goes your jump, but he's way too far away, and both teams are playing bait games. It just depends who can put out the biggest worm. Anna, well, it's a quick stun, but again, just trying to bait a reaction out.
And just keep whittling them down with Radiance Illusions. The endless train of Manta Illusions and Disruption Illusions.
The ping actually just came to bottom lane. There's a decent creep wave going in from OG. It's not going to do that much damage to the tier 3 talent, but it's enough to force the Juggernaut back out because he's looking for that farm. But they look towards Roshan now, OG. As the Juggernaut reveals himself on bottom lane, it may be possible. Nope, they actually go even further. They go deeper inside their own jungle to continue the farm game.
Just making sure Roche isn't taken out by either team.
Well, everything is up. It wouldn't take that long for IG to get there. Like, it'd be nicer for OG if they could go in and take out that Roshan Shrine the Radiant have, but they can't. They don't have the confidence to do that either.
Radiant has used Scan, they know they're sitting on top of the shrine right now.
Oh, jump forward, a long jump in, finding Fly, OP finds the target. Burns half of his mana pool to do it, but he'll still have a little bit more left to fight against Notel. Those Bloodstone charges allowing him to regenerate. Ana bringing in the stun, able to hit the rock wall fall, but can Burning do enough with his BKB now triggered? Same for OP. They stand their ground, but it's up against the Alchemist. Good regeneration for him, not to mention the Dream Call causing problems, but they jump in again. Another silence as Alchemist is being dragged away by Jirac. It's a saving grace. Omnislide trying to do his work, but Disruption is there. The Juggernaut, he hasn't really achieved enough. He'll end up killing off the Earth Spirit. So there goes the save for OG, and they're just trying to retreat, but the will be shredded apart. XXS, he got the glorious polarity out, and it has to fight back. They need to keep this contest going. XXS will die for his sins committed against the OG Tribunal. Burning wants to keep running. Another concoction's done. They are going to bring him down. These are going to be big kills. Burning going in for the spin. Ana, they're actually trying to go for doubles here, but with the help of S4, he is able to get it. 882 gold for that kill on Burning. He's worth a lot, but so is the space opening up and out around Roshan. And let's see it again. Ana, Fly, and Notel, they all just wanted to go home.
He is really good about the turn back too. He gets it almost every single time on that RP. And OG, they aren't actually going to have to pay that much for it. Yeah, the buybacks, but they'll get a Roshan in response. And S4 did pick up a DD rune on the bottom, so it's quick and easy for them. Magnus looks like he has completed the refresher orb though. So he does have RP up for this next fight. OG, do they want to do something with this? The timeline is getting short, it seems.
It's got to be Shrines. You've got to take away Invictus Gaming's forward positioning. Now you got a little bit of fun happening as the Warlock actually in the middle lane. No tail. I mean, S4 jumping in with that double damage rune had enough damage that he gets him down, which means this could actually be the tier 2 tower up on top lane as well. So you take the Shrine plus the tier 2.
And luckily for Q, he did just hit level 20 right before that. So minus 30 seconds on that respawn timer.
He'll be up quick.
And it looks like Jug and Warlock going to respawn at about the same time. Can they fend this off, though, with the Aegis? They actually put the Aegis on the Terrorblade. So right now, that means Ana has no buyback for 5 minutes. That is a no-go. Definitely not.
It is not a time you want to fight. But it may still be enough confidence, right? Like, you still got to pick off on the Warlock. You now control your jungle. You've managed to get some aggressive warding down from OG. They've had their backs to the wall this entire time, waiting for some opportunity where they can battle against Invictus Gaming. And they've shown they can do it. It does cost buybacks, but they are the ones who currently actually hold the tower advantage, only by 1 tier 3. But it may just be enough. Invictus Gaming understand if this fight doesn't go their way, OG will push them, and they will push hard.
Yes, the way for them to win a team fight is to make the Alchemist play defensively. Once he can't spread out his illusions and Radiance burn everyone, then that is time for Magnus to swoop in with a big and bad RP.
Where did that gem end up as well? I'm assuming it was lost during the engagement.
Did Storm Spirit die?
Gem of True Sight, it is on the Storm Spirit. Yeah. Okay, I just saw him bounce across next to the Dire Observer Wards and not dewarded. I don't think he had it on him at the time.
He has 24 Bloodstone charges, so he did not die in that last brawl.
Storm actually, he's going for the Axe build on the Storm.
What better way to set up for RP or follow up after RP?
Group Vortex.
So I forgot about the pull on the Axe for the Earth Spirit. So that's actually a really good save. So he was able to pull the Alchemist last fight, and that is very difficult to counterplay. And you could see them just like, screw this Earth Spirit, we're just going to kill him. Jeff Burning just went straight onto him after he saw that pull.
Man, Lai's actually going to get a lot better as well for the OG supports. Earth Spirit, like, you talk about his ability to save, he's also got the ability to waste a lot of the Omni Slash that comes in from the Juggernaut. Be it from his saving grace, but also because he's looking towards picking up the Ghost Scepter. So you've got a lot more ability to soak up on that front. Your physical damage isn't really going to connect, so Ricky is going to have to be on top of him. But then now you've got the Aghanim Scepter on the SD. Now, yeah, this Shadow Demon, most of his net worth is actually the Aghanim Scepter. In fact, it's more than 50% of his current net worth. But having the 3 Purge charges, if he can keep his distance, is going to be very difficult for IG to continue a chase against OG.
It would be very good against Juggernaut if he didn't have the blink already. Normally,
here comes Bobica. The Thorn. What's he going to find? And he'll find Notal. A perfect smoke screen. Okay, you ain't keeping any distance. Fly is obliterated. Notal wants to keep fighting, but he is being stalked. They'll trigger the Lincoln Sphere. The kick, it connected. The concoction's on as well. Burning is forced to go into his spin. As they clear up the illusions, Anna running himself forward, wants to do as much damage as possible. The Future Blade will hold him inside the smoke screen, trying to Manta style dodge back out. Tricks the Trade can be very ineffective as NoTown has triggered up his Metamorphosis. Burning is not too healthy. The kick flies through again. It won't hit any targets, but the Dream Call is keeping Magnus out of this fight for the moment. They're trying to bring him down. The rock, the space is created. Q is so low, but he waited up the entire Dream Call. Never had to take the damage. S4 still wants that kill, and he will claim it. The first casualty, it's going to be the Warlock. Now the Golems, they're cleaning up the rest of the mess on the back lines here, OG, while front lines is to roll forward. Jirax found Bobaka trying to escape. It will not happen. A small creep skip? No, it's just going to TP straight out. There's no Ricky, no Warlock, no buybacks available for either of them. This is the danger zone we were talking about.
Really good plays from the course from OG over there. I think all of them just kited incessantly with the Lincoln, the Force Staffs, the Illusions, the Mantas. They just can't really seem to get a hold of Hero. Magnus held onto his RP the entire time. Now he has BKB, so things might be a little bit easier so he can avoid the Radiance burn. And then the Juggernaut also did not want to expend his Omni Slash, but OG will claim the last outer shrine of IG.
This is so safe as well. Like, you don't see OG just barreling down mid saying, hey, that T3 tower's gone. Let's take out the ranks. Give respect to the IG team fight. Yes, you've won a fight, but it's coming out of, I would say, fantastic planning, but they're definitely picking the fights they know they can at least trade. And now they've got the vision, the blink, the hex, but Omni Slash, how much damage will it do? The pullback, Earth Spirit can't do much more. No one is orking it up, and NoTown Sunders on the burning, so returns the damage out. Fly will drop, but Anna's bringing in the concoction. He wants it onto OP, and he'll claim it. NoTown, they focus the Storm Spirit down, and OP, he'll have to deny himself with the Bloodstone charge. He'll be up very, very soon. Warlock dying on the back lines. It's Q who finds the kill for that one.
XSS made a did not RP there. And I think he could have RP'd the TB before the Sunder, and then he got the Sunder on burning of all heroes. And that was not where you want to be as a Juggernaut against a full HP Terrorblade sitting at like 25–30%. He still has 2 RPs, and lucky for him, it's Warlock and Storm Spirit, the 2 heroes with by far the least respawn time on the Radiant side. But IG, they keep losing, kind of losing team fights. That was definitely a vision win for OG. And looking at the gem status, there is 1 picked up by Q.
So you got 1 on S4, 1 on NoTail, and then a fresh one picked up over on Q. So OG can probably leave 1 of those back at the base for a rainy day. But then again, with the Ricky on the field, maybe having the gem is going to be a better thing for them.
Wow, how late was this Midas from Earth Spirit? I actually have no idea how late it was. Well, flying Q.
It really hasn't been Flyer's day. This is almost unfair to Fly to show it.
A lot to do with the Riki pick.
Anna just keeps nudging in the waves, and with the help of Fly, this is starting to work. Okay, XXS playing around with the RP. He can't blink forward. That's a bit of a problem. The Orchid is over on Fly. He can't save himself either, so Fly is down now for 30 seconds. A good, simple pick off there from OP.
And nice scout out by NoTail with his gem to find that Invis Magnus, and XSS just does not know how to approach against the Radiance.
Are they coming mid? It looks like it. IG are pretty grouped up. Roshan's got a little bit longer before he's going to spawn up, so that's not going to be the critical moment for them. But then again, if this fight drags on for a minute and then you lose the fight, OG can just take the next Roshan from you.
They need to be very careful about how they use their RPs, because OGs at this point, they can actually power through some of the RPs with like buybacks or, you know, one of their 10 defensive cooldowns that they have. The Hex on Puck has actually been pretty big too. It makes Magnus like have to, maybe like BKB out of Shadow Blade sometimes, maybe even before BKB, so you don't get hit by Radiance Burn. Like, when do you BKB as the Magnus here? It's very hard for him.
It almost has to be for like the full Glorious. You go for the BKB, you hit the big double RP. Like, that has to be it. But then again, you're not establishing vision control either. The Rookie can no longer be that walking ward. You need him to stay alive because you need his influence in the fights.
Yeah, and you need the Storm Spirit to also get you vision. And this is the first time in a long time that I've seen someone come close to Alk's net worth in a relatively long game. So he's peaked out at around 31K and 29,000 for 2 of the big Radiant cores.
Well, he's got to keep giving stuff over to everyone else.
But that doesn't actually mean he's that strong himself, because no one's actually buffing him up. I mean, you have SD illusions and whatnot, but they're not directly buffing him up in a man fight. Whereas Jug and Power is going to get stronger and stronger the more agility he picks up. Here he has Butterfly, so width and power, he's hitting for 400.
That's why NoTail wants this game to delay up a little bit longer too. He needs to finish up that Monkey King bar of his. Needs 600 gold for it, but will sacrifice his buyback in order to purchase it. The Burning's ready to push, and he is the bait this time around.
They just need to keep lane shove so they can do Roche. Another unfavorable Roshan respawn for Invictus Gaming. Looking at 10 minutes past the last death. And now the buybacks for OG have cooled down. Alchemist is ready to go.
Okay, gem trade-off. Now S4 still trying to get to his level 25, even to a point they're giving him the tome. Is he actually? Okay, he did consume it, so he's just shy of his 25.
He does need that 420 GPM badly.
Fly needs something more. He's level 11 in this game. You're 51 minutes in, and you got a 0-11. We actually have a contender for the Malk Award at the moment. Storm Spirit jumps in. OP phase shift from S4. He dodges it and gets the Hex. OP's in trouble. Even with the Storm, the Rock will drop and create space, but the damage was there from NoTail. 42 seconds without the Storm Spirit and the bash. Okay, S4 will lose his life. 98 seconds without him, but Jirax looks for the extra control. It's down towards Q. A double kill now for NoTail, and they want more. Burning is on the run. Jirax, where's your control? Where's your vision? It's the Invis Shadow Blade of the Magnus to allow him to survive.
He BKB before the Shadow Blade that time to not get the radiance, but he still could not find a good opportunity for that RP. OP is going to respawn very, very quickly. Do they actually want to take a fight around Roche? Now, in their mind, it's like, it's been 10 minutes. That is pretty long.
Yep. We're going for...
Oh, he got orb distance.
We are going for speed. We're going the distance. That is what's coming in from Puck.
That is quite surprising. It is very far. Max distance 2025, but 420 gold per minute. That's like 4 Shadow Demons right now.
Dude, 420 is only a meme. S4 is a player, not a memer. He subscribes to the Book of Loner.
Well.
So Roshan's up.
Yep. Dire knows it. Radiant is gonna know very soon.
It's max spawn time. Everyone knows it now.
It's only been 10, so it's not quite max respawn.
Oh, the RP. They find Ana. Ana does have the regeneration up. We'll see if he has enough damage. The Orchid keeping Jirax out of the fight, but still the damage is not enough. You've got him surviving. Fly's got a little bit more to help out. Not to mention the Purge throwing it down on Burning the break. He'll have to BKB trying to find Ana. Still remaining healthy. Doesn't have any kind of armor to toggle through this one, but NoTail, where no metamorphosis, the damage is scary, and that's why Burning straight TP out. Bobica may not be so lucky. Jirax runs forward. Where's that kick? It flies north. They look for the hit on Q. It will not connect. He gets into the trees and just stays silent. Oh, no, NoTail saw him. Did he? For a moment? No, there's your run. Now they'll see him. He subscribes to the Book of HYHY, but S4, like, you try and survive. The Hex remains there. They hang around him. Q wants to just retreat, but they're playing with him. S4 in front, and Q slowly and surely, they wait out the time. Q will still die here. There's nothing which prevents this.
Straight into the Roach Pit they go. Refresher is down. 1 RP is all that Magnus has in his arsenal. That was just 1 RP on a full HP Alchemist. Did not end up doing that much in that fight.
Man, OG are actually not going in for Roshan. They're pushing the lanes out instead. They want to keep the equilibrium going their way before Roshan starts to happen.
I think they're also waiting for all their Manta and Illusion cooldown so they can actually prevent this Magnus.
Is that the other reason why you just let the Warlock run for so long? Like, get Metamorphosis back up again. Like, you're not going to push, and the longer Warlock's down, OG is not going to be doing anything.
They prevented themselves from getting RP'd, is why you just sent all the illusions out of them.
OP. The Hex says Bo is there! OP trying to create space, and all he does is create space for OG. Burning has to commit. Drop down the puck. S4 does have buyback. That is not available for the Storm Spirit. And Ana on the run forward. Mantra Illusions. Now they're going to look for at least the mid-racks.
XSS, this is your time.
Or do they? They're backing up. They're looking towards Roshan. They're not pushing down the lane. They want to get the Aegis in their hands, and this should be Aegis and cheese.
Looks like they're scared about potentially The big RP from XSS. It could still be right here, though.
Without the Storm Spirit, it's risky to attempt it. And there, Jirax, a fresh Yule Scepter. They saw him coming thanks to Sentry Ward, giving him the vision. Next, the illusions that were up. Roshan's down. No-Tell is the Aegis Immortal. A quick sign on the Magnus, tricks of the trade. Ricky Maru on the wrong side of the river, and he'll be the primary focus now. Jumping back in front of Roshan, but there's sentries everywhere, detection everywhere. 80 seconds again. Invictus Gaming are forced to fight a man down if OG want to push the issue.
Another DD for OG as the Roshan respawns. A lot of small things have been going their way. The Roshan respawns, the runes right before the Roshan, and on top of that, they've been playing pretty excellently after the initial debacle in the first 15 minutes of the game, where they were only limited to 3 kills. But once the Axe started coming out, and they had some net worth to play around with, OG are in very dominant position in this game one.
And Invictus Gaming, if they can get the vision back, if they can allow OP, like OP switched out his Aghanim Scepter, so he had more of the Disable. He has the Scythe, he has the Bloodthorn. These individual pickoffs, he's able to do. That's what OP's intention was in the mid lane, to create that space to have OG a man down and allow Invictus Gaming to start re-establishing map control. But it's just not coming their way. So instead, Invictus Gaming, they can still fall back to what they have. It is a juggernaut late game with buff up of Empower. You still have that huge advantage. You still have the double RPs. You still have Rock with Fatal Bonds. OG, even though these fights in the last 20-25 minutes control seems to be going their way, they are still not home and hosed in game one.
Yeah, there's only been one big RP from XSS this game, and OP has died, what, 3 times, I think, with unanswered kills.
And the only reason why they could punish the RP before is because it was in OG's base, practically.
Yep. And no Lincolns on a Sword Spirit in preference of a Scythe of Vice is going to be painful for him, perhaps, in this next team fight, especially without a Lotus Orb. Warlock swapped from, I think, a Glimmer to a Lotus Orb in his quick buy because he realizes that he has to keep the Storm alive. The Magnus can't do it himself.
Defense is the name of the game for Invictus Gaming. OG, really? Is this the way you want to run it, Anna?
They have to worry about skewer into T4s. That is a very big issue when you're pushing against Magnus.
Well, here comes the illusions. It'll see a lot. Magnus currently invis thanks to his Shadow Blade, once again burning. Being the man forced to try and defend this, but this is that slow bleed. So many illusions bringing down the towers, and they can keep doing this, OG. This is the same kind of, well, play you would see when you had the SD and the Luna working together. Now, Invictus Gaming do have easy ways to clean up the illusions, but it's still taking time.
But
especially when they split up this much.
All 3 lanes, though.
I'm wondering if you start chipping away the range racks as well, or if the tier 3 towers are your primary thing.
Why not all 3?
Yeah,
why not all 3 lanes? Why not 2 T3s and range racks at the same time? They have enough illusions to do so.
Anna. Because nearby, OP would love to go for the jump out, but there's no real opening for it. He can at least clean up the creep wave that was on bottom. As S4, that long range and very quick maneuvering from the puck, he can jump between lanes.
I guess he's almost 6-letter right now, so he doesn't actually need the GPM too much on the puck. It's pretty cool. He just wants to be able to control the mag or control the storm.
It's the most important menu up on our screen right now. That buyback menu, the 3 cores from Invictus Gaming can all come back up again. And it's only 800 shy for Warlock and Ricky to pick up their buybacks.
OP gunning for Fly.
Long jump out. Does he have enough damage? He should. Fly should pop from this one. The Orchid. I say the Orchid is the full Bloodthorn, but the Hex return. Rocks will fall, but it comes a little bit too late. Now it's OG on the aggression. XXS is forced back out. He's still stunned up. He got hit by the Dream Course. They can't turn around just letting RP go, but he'll have to do it. There's no other choice. Omni Slash, No-Tell, he's taking more of the damage. He's able to do it. The Aegis Immortal will burn. It puts the Metamorphosis back on cooldown. OP, there's your buyback. Looking for the target. S4 up and towards the air. The Yorset won't save him. There's a big kill. 100 seconds without him and the RP. You've still got that control. OG's losing too many of the front lines. They get no objectives out of this. So much patience from OG, but more patience from Invictus Gaming.
And only 1 buyback, and that's on a Storm Spirit. Still down 9 Bloodstone charges, but finally XSS is able to connect on 2 RPs, and it was so big for them that they were able to take out the Terra Blade before he was able to Sunder. I don't believe he got a Sunder off that fight at all.
Nope, he did not.
And that's going to have to be at least 1 buyback. I don't think the Alp is going to be enough alone, but maybe because they don't have one on the Magnus. So they'll kind of feel it out with just an Alp buyback. I think it's enough, but it's might not be. I think IG just want to end this right now. They don't have buyback on Storm.
Yeah, they're missing their Magnus, however. He's still so far behind, so Burning isn't buffed. This is your other issue, or is he? Is it going to be the end of his Empower? So they're not clearing through quickly into OG, but without the Puck's initiation, Invictus Gaming have to feel a little bit more confident.
So they're going to take a lot of T3 damage, and T3 opens up shrines, and is that worth a buyback right now? Probably not for them, but...
Not for the Terrorblade. When he's 21 seconds away, you just have enough faith in Ana to do the work. Asa sprayed up the blink. Oh, XXS is looking for Jirax. Ana preparing the concoction. He'll have to stun himself once again. Burning can look towards it with a kick from Jirax, making it so Burning can't initiate, but that melee Rax is falling quickly. He goes 6 seconds until No Talent is back up again. Rax is down, and Invictus Gaming, all they have to do is get out now. Burning with the spins, able to do it, straight TP. And Invictus Gaming, it has taken an hour to do it, but the first Rax will fall.
That was a really tough call by OG, but valuing the buybacks on those two heroes over... the thing is, like, if they buy back, they could maybe get a Storm Spirit kill and end the game themselves, but it's risky. I think that's one of the toughest calls they'd have to make this game, is buying back or not at that particular juncture. Because they still have the shrines, so they can easily TP back on the shrines and catch them out with a Puck Dream Coil, and there's not that much you can do about it. Maybe BKB TP, but I think you have enough physical damage to whack through it.
We have the item switch now from the Alchemist. He's switching himself between Radiance and Bloodthorn. So the Bloodthorn for the fights, looking for that good disable. Once that Storm Spirit's BKB is down, he doesn't have anything else that will actually save him from the Bloodthorn.
It's really good versus Juggernaut as well, because he has to Mansa very often in the fights, and he doesn't want to pick up MKB. Bloodthorn a better solution for him.
This is such a great time for IG to fight. There's a fresh item on the Magnus. He's got double Hex. It's the Scythe of Vice combining up with the Refresh Roll. That's what he's looking to do.
One Alchemist game could, or death could be game over right here for them. And OG certainly know that something is up right now, and they're trying to fan out their illusions, but is it going to be enough? Ana could be the person to pop out the smoke.
S4 still doesn't have his buyback off cooldown too, but hey, there's a Blink Dagger on on Fly, so congratulations, Fly. You've now bought your first major item of the game. It only took you 62 minutes.
And it couldn't come at a more important time, as Alchemist is flirting with the idea of being dead for the rest of the game.
No-Tel actually just expended his buyback to pick up BT. Smokescreen, won't do anything. S4's already away. But yeah, it bought BTs onto Terrorblade.
Are they trying to potentially go for...
You think the glorious push?
I'm considering why he would buy BOTs at the exact moment in time without saving for buyback. That is...
Either that or he's like, you know what, I'm going to get a kill.
He sold his item and now he has buyback.
Yeah. He was only 200 gold short of it though.
I checked this thing, it said like 690, so he had to sell something fairly big.
Okay. Oh, jump up. They look for the target. The Hex is going to be Jirax. The Earth Spirit in trouble. Alchemist TPing over, but will it still be enough for the Bloodthorn? The damage is there, and back down. It's the Alchemist in trouble. 2 minutes off. No-Tel needs to go huge now. Get himself out of the smoke screen. The disruption will allow that timing. It was the blink for the triple kill, the Burning, and the RP. That could be the game right there. Have IG done it? Have they got game 1 against OG? Burning, he wants to put the nail in the coffin. No-Tel is back up thanks to his buyback. With the Hex forward, you can smell it in the air. It's Invictus Gaming, your RP, locking down No-Tel, nowhere to run. Burning will hold it. Smokescreen, nothing more to do but skewer him into the afterlife. OG, they will lose the game after being the first ones to really enter the base, taking the tier 3 talents.